5 dead at Gaza hospital hit by Israeli strike. Doctors say several Israeli tank shells hit the hospital's reception, intensive care unit and operating theaters. Overnight, more than 30 members of 2 Palestinian families died in Israeli strikes, Gazan health officials said. Meanwhile, Hamas launched fresh rocket attacks. Israel said 10 militants had been killed after using tunnels to get into Israel near the town of Sderot. The Palestinian death toll from the 2-week conflict has now passed 500, the majority of them civilians, according to Gaza's health ministry. Israel says it has killed more than 170 militants since Thursday night, when it launched the ground offensive phase of its 2-week-old operation to end rocket fire from Gaza. 20 Israelis, 18 of them soldiers, have died, Israel says. Push for ceasefire. Palestinian television showed footage of wounded people being treated after the strike at the Al-Aqsa hospital in Deir al-Balah in the central Gaza Strip. Most of the wounded were doctors, according to Palestinian officials. Appeals have been made to the Red Cross to help evacuate patients from the building, the BBC Solanel reports from Gaza. Israel had told residents of neighboring areas to head to Deir al-Balah for their own safety as its ground offensive continues to target neighborhoods to the east of Gaza City for a second day, our correspondent adds. In Egypt, the United States Secretary of State John Kerry is due to hold talks to try to arrange a ceasefire. The UN Security Council has issued a call for an immediate cessation of hostilities but did not endorse a strongly worded draft resolution backed by Arab states. UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon has criticized an Israeli operation in the densely populated area of Sheikh on Sunday as an atrocious action. At least 67 people were reported killed in the assault on Sheikh, which Israel said was a terror stronghold. The UN says 43% of Gaza is now affected by evacuation warnings or declared a no-go area. In the past 4 days, the numbers seeking shelter in UN-run schools shot up by 400%. The UN is running out of supplies, morgues run out of space, and hospital wards are packed. As the days go by, there's a sad familiar choreography to Gaza's recurrent wars. As the news gets grimmer, the demands mount for an urgent ceasefire. And as the chorus of concern grows, both sides know their time may be running out, so military operations escalate, and the human cost deepens. Sunday was the deadliest day of the conflict so far. More than 100 Palestinians and 13 Israeli soldiers lost their lives. Palestinian Emergency Services spokesman Ashraf al-Qudra said 9 members of one family were killed in Israeli attacks on Rafah on the border with Egypt. In Khan Younis, in the south of Gaza, at least 23 members of one family died when a building was hit by an Israeli airstrike, officials said. Doesn't this indicate that Israel is ruthless? Are we the liars? Family member Sabri Abujama told the Associated Press news agency. The evidence is here in the morgue refrigerators. Further north, Israel continued its ground operation in the eastern fringes of Gaza City. After moving into the Sheikh neighborhood on Sunday in search of rocket sites and tunnels, nearby areas were pounded with artillery on Monday morning. Sunday's operation in Sheikh prompted chaotic scenes, with thousands of residents fleeing and images of children being pulled from the wreckage of buildings. Israel sent ground troops into Gaza after days of heavy air and naval barrages failed to stop rocket fire. Israel says the ground operation is necessary to target Hamas' network of tunnels, which have been used by militants to get into Israel and carry out attacks. But the Palestinians and Arab states have expressed alarm at the number of civilian casualties.